Hey guys, today I will show you how to put this Mini R53 in frontal service mode. So the first thing you want to do is you come here, and underneath here you will find some screws. I will give you some light so you can see that better. Like here you have a screw, and then normally here too, but they're missing. So what you have to do is you have to divide the inner plastic from the bumper. So you just loosen these and then we can continue. Okay, and once you have removed those bolts, you come here and there is an 8mm bolt that you have to loosen. Let me have a look. So if you come around, then you can see here on the top, this is the 8mm bolt that we need to take out. Okay. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to loosen these screws. You have like 3/10 in the middle, and on the side you have 2 Phillips heads that you have to loosen. Alright, so now that we have loosened these 8mm bolts and the bolts that hold the inner liner to the bumper, we come to the front, and then on this side, here, and on this side, you have T30 torque screws, which you loosen. Okay, let's put this to the side. Keep your screws organized, that will help you later on. And then normally yeah. Now you can take the bumper cover off. Make sure on this side, if you come here on the top, there are a couple of electrical connectors that you have to undo for your frontal lights. Don't forget those, because you really don't want to break these. Then when you undid the connectors, also make sure that you take this out. This is your temperature sensor. So hang it to the side, let it rest on here, and then you do the same thing on this side. Okay, so now just put this to the side. Okay, like this. And then we want to remove the bumper itself, which is held in with 5 bolts. We have 2 bolts here underneath, 1 here, and 2 on the inside. So 2 on the bottom, 2 here, and 1 here. These are 13mm bolts. Okay, and then we should be able to get this off like that. Also put this to the side. There we go. And now technically your Mini Cooper S is in frontal service mode. But if you want to take it a bit further, like you want to get the radiator off, if you need to work on the front of the engine or stuff like that, then I will show you that now. Alright, time to go further. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of this airco condenser. Now the airco system is filled with freon gas, which is highly regulated, very toxic. So this has to be emptied professionally before you do this. Don't do this at home because it's toxic, it's not good for you, also it's against the law. So once you have this professionally emptied, then you can just remove these two lines here, which are held in by 10mm bolts here and here. So once these are off, you see my system has been emptied. So now we can take the condenser off. This is held in with a 10mm here and a 10mm here. Alright, so now that we have the condenser off, it's time to take off these bars, which are held in here with a 10mm, and then on the bottom with 2/16. So we have to do this on both sides. That's the next step. Okay, and then we do the same on the other side. Then what we want to do, you have two holes here, which are M8, and you put a screw in here. Like that. And on the same, on this side also, a screw M8. This is gonna help us put everything to the front like this. And it can rest on these bolts. What you also need to do, if you come here, here you have a horn, and on the other side you also have a horn, that you disconnect these. Yeah. And then we have these cables which we pull through. Can be a bit tight, but they should all fit like this. And there we go. So now we have the cables on this side, and we do the same thing here. Also disconnect your horn and you feed the cables through. That's why we have these bolts here, so it holds everything in place. Alright, so that's done. Now before we can go further, we have here the hose that goes to your air box, which you have to disconnect. You have here connector, which you have to disconnect. This one can be tight, but okay, so that's done. Now before we can take this whole assembly off, we will need to drain the coolant. Now BMW did not provide us with a drain plug, so we have to loosen the bottom radiator hose, which is located on the left side of the vehicle, here. So that's what we're gonna do next. So there you can see the hose which we gotta loosen, which is held in by this clamp. So that's what we're gonna do now. So before I'm gonna loosen that one, I want to open this bleeder nipple here, this screw, which will help drain the system. So you can already hear. So we just loosen it. And another thing that we want to do is we want to loosen the cap on the reservoir. This will provide us with a nice flow when we disconnect the hose. Okay. Something else that I forgot to say earlier that you also have to disconnect. If you have these mist lights, then you also need to disconnect them. Just like that. Alright, we also got to disconnect this side the same way as the bottom one. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, because there is much more to come on this Mini. We're gonna make it mechanically in order and we're gonna transform it. So I catch you in the next one. Thank you.